Hey guys, it's Dana, and today I want to talk about space clearing, clearing negative energy, making things brighter, making things happier, making things feel fresh, new, free of entanglement, free of stuckness, free of everything that we don't want. And I want to talk about how to do that with stuff that you can get at the grocery store. So I'm a real fan of things being simple, and I'm a very big fan of things being accessible and a part of your lifestyle, so that, for instance, this weekend when you're going grocery shopping, you can be like, oh yes, I can get some lemons or some limes and we can do some space clearing in the living room. And it's just fun, and it's something that you may have a lot of these items on hand. And the importance of actually doing space clearing is enormous, because energy gets stuck in stuff. Energy gets stuck in our floor, in our walls, in the air around us, in objects. I don't know if you've ever had an object that you didn't even know where it came from. It looked good, technically, whatever it was, maybe a piece of jewelry or something, but every time you went to wear it or touch it or do something with it, it just had a bad vibe. Well, we have that stuff lingering all around us unless we make a practice of clearing stuff. The negative energy doesn't have to be ours or people that we know. There's energy moving all throughout our homes and our lives all day. We're interacting with people. We're out in public spaces. Things are happening all around us. And we're absorbing also the energy around us. So having a practice to clear space is an amazing way to keep your energy higher, keep everything around you lighter, and to feel so much better. So we're gonna do this all from stuff that I just got at the grocery store. And so I know we have advanced grocery stores full of fabulous stuff where I live, but I didn't go to a fancy grocery store. I went to a very basic grocery store that I usually go to, and it was perfect. So we're gonna talk about clearing in ways that maybe you've done before, maybe you haven't, but all of this is in the service of bringing more love to your life. Why? Love is not just extra, it's not just something that would be a good idea. Love is vital. Self-love is everything. Self-love is where all of life begins. It's our foundation. And a lot of us weren't taught to love ourselves. A lot of us weren't taught to take care of ourselves. A lot of us were taught, I was taught, by in many different arenas in my life from when I was a little kid, that achievement was rewarded. It had nothing to do with how I treated myself or how I felt about myself or how I talked to myself. It had to do with what I achieved. And so I wound up achieving a whole lot and feeling really, really, really bad, and getting very, very, very scared that I was just going to burn out by the time I was even an adult. And so this is a big deal. It's a big deal for me personally, because I've seen the difference in my life learning how to love myself as an adult, which is crazy that we have to do that, a lot of us. But if you're one of those people who's really been learning how to love yourself and learning how to love yourself more and more, when you start spreading that love to your environment, it makes it just a part of your lifestyle, and it makes everything around you boundlessly expanded. It makes everything easier. It makes everything more fun. It makes everything more love. Love is actually the highest frequency that most of us attain as a normal state of life. Not all of us are going to live in enlightenment every single moment of our lives, but almost all of us can choose to live in love for a lot of the time. And people who live in love have the capacity to lift 750,000 other people. One person, just you living in love, can lift 750,000 other people that you don't even know, that you haven't even seen, to higher states of being, to feeling better. Someone might not be feeling good, but your decision, your burst of energy, all the stuff that you do to love yourself can really help to lift the energy of the world around us. And that's so powerful in itself. If your energy helps to lift one person, that's so powerful in itself. So this is really big. For those of you who don't know, the Love Camp is here. The link is above. It is the the epic immersion in love to multiply your manifesting magic. It is my favorite thing that I've ever created. It is not just full of self-care and self-love and feng shui, of course. It's full of art. It's full of really life-expanding modalities, next level methods, and a real home makeover in such a wild, profound, artistic, creative way designed by you. So check it out above, join us. First, let's clear some space. To start with, okay, you may not be able to get actual pots of herbs, but keeping fresh herbs growing in your house is one of the most high frequency space clearing things that you can do. This is time. And for those of you who are into the medical medium, I love what the medical medium writes about herbs, and you can check out the Facebook page, herbs and fruits and vegetables and all sorts of properties of these magical nature gifts that we have. And thyme smells so good. I'm just, thyme smells amazing. It's really uplifting, but thyme specifically is really amazing to make into a tea. And you can take some time, you can boil it as a tea, just take a little bunch, boil it as a tea, and have that tea as this uplifting tonic. And that's one way to start clearing space. When herbs boil in your house, you're also releasing the oils into the air, and that also clears space, which brings me to my next one. Basil. So this is basil that's a little bit past its prime, and usually I'll buy a big thing of basil all at once, and I'll be working my way through it, and then it'll start to go off just a little bit. You'll see the edges are getting a little crispy of some of these leaves. This is when I turn basil into a floor wash. So basil has a history of being a prosperity and major joy herb. And when you boil basil, and that's what I do, I'm gonna take this and a few other little bits that I have like this, and I'm gonna put them in a pot and boil them in just a minute when we're done. And I'm gonna let it cool off. And you could take the leaves out and you use the basil that's boiled, the basil water, as a wash for your floors, or as a wash for your tile, or as a wash for your walls, or as a wash for anything that you want to wash down. I like using it on sealed floors. So if you have linoleum, it'll be fine. If you have sealed wood floors or laminate floors, it'll be fine. Don't use it on unsealed tile or anything like that. You want to make sure it's sealed, otherwise water can create a lot of damage. But that said, what does this do? So basil, as I said, is prosperity and joy and super high vibes. And when you wash your floors with it, it helps to create this massive amount of clear space. So your foundation is literally full of high vibes and abundance. Floor washes are very powerful space clearing tools. So all you need is to grab a sponge or grab your mop and mop with this, let it all dry. It has a very, very faint scent. It is so high vibrational. As a bonus, you can also use some of your basil water in your bath. You can take a bath with it, and it is, again, this like major energy boost for your whole body. So basil. Before I stick it back in here, these are some limes. You can use chopped up citrus as a magnet to clear space. So this is limes that have been chopped up and they're hanging out in a glass of water. And anywhere in your house where things feel a little bit dense or heavy or stuck, or you're just not feeling right about it, or you've been really, really active and you want to just clear it out, maybe your home office, you want to get a fresh start for Monday, some chopped citrus in water. You can add a pinch of sea salt if you'd like. I have some salt here, I'll do that now. You can add a pinch of sea salt if you'd like for a little extra space clearing, but this on its own, you don't want to leave this for a really long time. Usually I don't do it for more than a day, especially when it is warm weather or it will start to mold. So just for a day, I always use limes or lemons that are past their prime so that I'm not wasting anything. And then when they're done, you can compost them, and it goes on and on. The cycle of nature continues. So to continue on, I'm going to put my basil in here. To continue on with citrus, grapefruits are another amazing way to clear space, especially in your bathroom. If you have a grapefruit and maybe it's still edible, but maybe it's not great on one side. I don't like to use fruit that I would otherwise eat. I don't like to use fruit, of course, that's rotten, but I don't like to use fruit that is something that I would eat. It feels a little better if it's something that, oh, I realize this has a little more on it, so let's use this one. You chop the grapefruit in half. So if you have a little damaged side, you're going to use that half. And what you'll do, and I would chop this open for you, but I don't think it'll really serve any big purpose. You slice this open, and then take some baking soda and sprinkle the baking soda on the sliced half. So you have the sliced half and you sprinkle baking soda on it, and you use this guy as a scrubber to scrub your bathtub, to scrub your shower walls. And not only is it an amazing refresher for your space, and the aromatherapy is super, super amazing, it's also incredibly astringent space clearing. So you want to imagine that it can suck out any negative vibes that have gotten stuck in your bathroom, stuck in your shower walls, stuck in your tub, and just make everything fresh and clear again. So instead of, say, Ajax or toxic sort of scrub stuff that you can get that's liquid that you can pour everywhere, half a grapefruit, some baking soda, a liberal amount of baking soda because it'll be like a scrub. And as you go, if it feels like it's kind of losing its power, you can add a little more baking soda and it revives it. So this should work to clear pretty much a whole bathroom. Shower at least, in a tub for sure, maybe your sink too. So I love this, and this is amazing refreshment all at the same time. Moving on, most grocery stores these days have flowers, and all the grocery stores I go to, even the delis in New York, all are full of flowers. It's really easy to find fresh flowers in many, many places. So these roses are incredible. Just having fresh flowers in your house does two things. First thing is it encourages you to have more loving, peaceful, powerful connections with the people who live in your house with you. So they're a peacemaking, elevating, bonding part of nature to bring them into your house. The second thing that they do, beyond their color, beyond how beautiful they are, beyond how great that they smell, is that they bring insanely high vibrations with them into your home. So I leave my roses in the house, and I wait until they're on their last days, and you might want to change their water to keep them alive a little bit longer. You can put some sugar in the water to keep them alive a little bit longer. And once they're really they've had their full life cycle, as they start to become petals, that's when you can take these petals and you can sprinkle them on your bed. You can sprinkle them on the floor and leave them. Like if you have kids, pets, or anyone that's going to step all over them or mess them up, make sure the doors are closed, or you do it when no one's home. But I like to leave them for at least an hour and let them do their magic of sucking out and clearing and putting energy into everything that they touch. So it's a great thing for your bed. It's a great thing for your floors. It's a great thing for a couch. Anywhere where you can just sprinkle the rose petals, let them sit, and then pick them up. That is such high vibes. There are more things to do with roses, and I'm going to do a video just on roses one day very soon. But to finish, I'll give you a big one. So salt is a huge space clearing agent, right? Salt is one of the things that you hear all the time. Using salt to take baths, using salt to create all sorts of space clearing in your house. Salt is very popular. So what we're going to do right now is we are going to burn some salt. So what I have here is a pie plate. And in the pie plate, I have a ramekin that has some sea salt in it. Usually I'll fill it up all the way to the top, so I'm gonna fill it a little bit more with some sea salt, just normal sea salt. Usually I'll buy it in bulk, but today I was able to grab this at the grocery store. I wanted to be authentic and get you all stuff straight from the normal grocery store. This is plain rubbing alcohol. The kind that you would, it's 50% isopropyl rubbing alcohol, the kind you would probably have in your cabinet, in a medicine chest, in your bathroom. It is the kind of stuff that you can get at any pharmacy or any pharmacy in a grocery store. It's very, very common. And what you're gonna wanna do is over the salt, you're gonna pour this alcohol, and you're not gonna have it swimming. So you don't want to create a situation where it's a pool of alcohol everywhere, or the fire's going to go all the way up to here, because we're going to burn this. What you want to do is basically just moisten it and then barely put extra. In fact, I put a little bit, I think, too much. So let me put a little bit extra salt in here for good measure. So once you have this all set, a few things. One, burn this at your own risk. This is not a small thing. This is one of the most powerful space clearing things that you could possibly do in your home. And I don't take this lightly. Do not do it if you're afraid to do it. Do not do it if you're gonna take your eyes off of it. Do not do it if you have pets or kids at home or someone that you're taking care of. Do not do it around anything flammable. And you are doing this at your own risk. So please, please, please only do it if you feel very confident about it. That said, I'm gonna light it. So now it's lit. I usually use a barbecue lighter. Don't do what I just did. I've done this so many, and I have someone watching this, by the way, so their eyes on this. I have done this so many hundreds of times and in people's homes all over that I have a good sense of how this all goes. Use a long lighter or long matches, or throw a match in. Sometimes it burns and you don't realize it's burning because the flame isn't as visible as this. This is very visible flame right now. So this is gonna sit and clear it clears energy in such a profound way. And what you can do is imagine, visualize anything, your worries, your stresses, anything, maybe disagreements with neighbors or people and your life, just throw them into the flame and watch them transform and ask them to be released and better things to come and all the love to flow in, and just imagine anything that you're ready to release going into the flame. It is such a powerful experience, and as this burns, it just does something magnificent to a space whenever it burns. Now, again, be very careful with this. Sometimes they burn for 10 to 15 minutes, so take the time if you're gonna do this to really pay attention to it. Again, someone is watching this, even though I'm not watching it every second talking to you. And so, from oranges and limes and basil and thyme and baking soda and salt and roses and all sorts of flowers, there are so many ways to go to the grocery store this weekend, grab your groceries, and pick up some extra stuff to play with so that you can bring more light, more love, more energy, more clear space to your space so that you can stay higher and lighter and thrive more and feel a fresh start anytime you want one. So have a lot of fun with this, guys. Again, the Love Camp is above or below the links, and you can find them, check it out. Join us. It's going to be such an amazing adventure. I love you so much. Have a great week. I'm going to go watch this burn now for the rest of the time and throw things into the flame. Have a great weekend. Bye.